This is going to be an overview of the Manfrotto Chicago camera bag. I say overview and not review because, full disclosure, Still Moving and myself work very closely with Manfrotto. In fact, we produced the advert for the latest fast tripods that have just launched. So because of that relationship, I want people to be aware that we do work closely with Manfrotto, and that is obviously going to compromise, potentially, my review of this bag. What I would say is that I do use their products a lot, and we've used their products for years, even before we started to work with them. In particular, the bags have to be incredibly functional, and when we're going out on shoots, the reason that we will pick a certain bag over another is because it works better for us. We're able to store the things we need to store, it's more comfortable, any number of different reasons. Now, a lot of the time when I'm going out on shoots, because we're doing much larger shoots, I'm generally not carrying camera bags myself. Here I am, but a lot of the time we're going out with very big crews, and that isn't really what my role would be at that point. But what I am doing quite a lot of is traveling around to meetings, maybe taking cameras and other little bits of equipment to location scouts, to edit somewhere remotely. So if I'm going to a client's to skim through some footage or discuss something, do a brainstorming meeting with them. So in that scenario, I'm taking a laptop, I'm taking quite a few SSD hard drives. I need to have access to all of the footage. And because we're shooting a lot of Blackmagic RAW, they need to be fast hard drives. So I'm choosing to basically just work off those, work off my MacBook, and then when I get back to the studio, I can plug everything into the eGPU and really blast through stuff quickly, but allows me to be a little bit more nimble when I need to go out on location or to a client. Alongside all the computer and hard drive stuff, I'm also looking then at taking light meters, potentially taking a small camera body with a couple of lenses so that I can check things for a location scout, and that all fits in this bag really well. So here it is. This is the Manfrotto Chicago, and I'm really enjoying this. As a backpack, it's rather different from the styling that we've seen on a lot of the other Manfrotto backpacks to this point. In fact, it feels a lot more like just a lovely stylish backpack than it does a camera bag as such. All of the normal cues that we'd expect from a Manfrotto product are here, but they're a little bit more subtle. So for example, just find it, the only little pop of red we've got is just there, which is quite nice actually. It's a very tasteful little kind of tip of the hat to that traditional Manfrotto red that you see on a lot of their products. All of the other branding is metal, silver, so we got their logo and we got the name Manfrotto on there. And that then follows across to things like the zips, they're silver, and some of the other zips actually aren't. They're just black with this sort of slightly textured, it's not leather, not more rubber fabric, and that actually ties across to a lot of the other notes on the bag as well. So the reason I like this for the kind of things that I'm doing now is because it's a little bit more business-like. I can turn up, it goes on my back, it works well if I'm wearing a suit, it doesn't look too cameraman going out, and it's a little bit more business-like in that respect. If we are having to take more stuff, say we're going to a location shoot and I am carrying this with my laptop and hard drives and everything, but we have other camera equipment with us, it's got this little strap so it can go straight on the top of a rolling bag, and that just takes the weight off your back and allows you to transport it more efficiently. Apart from that, things that I like, just unzip it here. So when you open it up, you're going to notice there's a little bit of resistance after you've unzipped it, and that's because you've got magnets in there, which is really nice, because if you don't zip this, it's still going to close up, and it stops the flap from popping around. You would be able to do that with poppers, but then you'd have to push them down, so I actually much prefer the fact that it's a magnetic catch just there, and it means that it doesn't flap around and stuff in the wind. Inside, we have this little wallet. I'm going to put the bag down. This wallet is really cool because you can get things that do this, but the fact that they've included it in the bag is what I enjoy about it, because I can fit all of my SSDs into these little elasticated pockets, so I can take 4 in there. Cables in this section just here, so I can have all my USB-C cables in there. I can put any SD cards or pens or anything else in the zippy pockets as well. So it's a really neat way of keeping all of your cabling, all your hard drives, any SD cards. I prefer this elasticated band and the way that it goes over the top to like a zip or catches or anything like that. It's just quicker, and then you just throw it in the bag and it's ready to go. Now you do have several pockets dotted around the place. So we've got this little pocket on the side where you can put anything that you just need easy, quick access to. Zippy pocket on the side just there. Again, you could put business cards or anything else in there. I've got some of these little Velcro straps just for tying up cables and whatnot. Keep those handy. On the back just here, you have a pouch for your laptop, and that's going to be able to accommodate this 15-inch MacBook that I'm working off, which is really cool. On previous bags, we haven't been able to fit a 15-inch in, so I've had to make do with bigger rolling cases and that kind of thing. But this is perfect for that, and then there is one more wallet in there as well. So you can keep anything else you want in that little pocket just there. Maybe you've got an iPad mini or something, and it stops it swimming around in the deeper pocket as well. There's one more little compartment on the top here, and that is going to accommodate the rain cover. So if you are out and about and it does start to rain, you've got that always ready to go just to pop over the bag. So that just goes neatly away, forget about it until you need it. On the other side of the bag, you've got a larger elasticated pocket just there, so you can stick anything else you need quick access to into there. And then we have access on this side as well into the bag. On the inside, you've got plenty of space, and you've got options on how you compartmentalize everything, and the dividers actually have a little bit of structure to them, which is nice. We can also just unpop one of the poppers just here on either side of the bag. That's that side, I've already done the other side. And then you can actually pull, and then that section is just going to slide out. So this section's the interior. You can actually take it, zip it all up, and that happens on both sides. And then you have all of your camera equipment in this thing. So if you did want to use the bag for other things, you've got a neat carry handle just there. You can take that to wherever you want to take it to. You can have it loaded up with equipment in there. If you're not using it on a regular basis for camera equipment, you can have your cameras in here, put it into a safe, keep it somewhere where you can then just easily access it. It's got a body in, it's got a lens in, maybe you've got some batteries in there, and then you just slot it into the bag when you need to go out on a shoot, and that's kind of really cool. Self-contained, it's got a bit of structure to it. It's not, I think, designed for carrying around an awful lot, but it's a neat way of storing your cameras away from your bag if you're using your bag for other things. And because of the styling of the bag, I think that's actually a legitimate use. So if you're not going out all the time with your cameras, you can have your bag for just going around day-to-day office stuff, when you're doing edits, when you're maybe going to meetings, and then when you want to have your cameras in there, you've got that ready to go, and it just slots right in the side. Put that just there. Obviously with that gone, you've got a bit more space in the bag as well, but you're not going to be able to compartmentalize everything in the same way. Something else which is kind of a sign of the times is this little gimbal holder just here, designed for smaller gimbals, so you can just slot that in there, runs the whole length of the side of the bag. Personally, I'm not often carrying a gimbal in that, but I will use it just for additional cable storage if I need to, or perhaps anything which I want to keep out of the main camera section of the bag, but still have easy access to when I'm out and about. So that's on that side. On the other side, we have a similar situation, but it's actually a zippy pocket just there with some additional sections within it. So if you wanted to perhaps put more hard drives in there, or you wanted to have lens cleaning kit or anything else that you need, there's just another option for keeping it separate from the main body of the bag. Now, if you are then going out to shoot, all you need to do is take this, drop it back in. And once you've got it in there, you are going to have to do those buttons back up, make sure you got it all popped in, and you're ready to go. Now, if you wanted to, you could have your internal bag zipped up for an extra layer of security, so that if anyone did undo this, they wouldn't be able to get into the internal bag. It will mean that you don't have such fast access, but if you want to make sure that everything in there is really secure, you just zip up that internal bag as well, and you've got a double layer of protection, which is really cool. Probably the most important factor for me when I'm looking at a backpack like this is how comfortable the thing actually is. And this has lots of padding, it's got structure and shape to it, which is good. And the straps themselves are nice and thick, but they have structure, they're not floppy. Adjustability down the bottom, obviously we've got this metal release just here, which is really cool. And then we also have the option of this clip, which will go across your chest. This is adjustable, so you can loosen it or tighten it, and you can also adjust the position of that up and down the straps to suit your posture, to suit your body type, and that's really cool. Like I say, that's the only little nod to the Manfrotto Red, but I kind of really like it. It's nice, it's very understated, and it fits with the whole look of the bag. One or two other little things just to note. On the bottom of the bag, we have padding, which is really nice. I hate the idea that if the bag comes off my shoulder and drops down on the ground, I'm going to be hitting the things that are in the bottom of the bag, whether that be the base of the laptop or the cameras themselves. So there is padding in the bag already, but they've got these additional pads which are a little bit more rugged, different material on the bottom, so that if you're putting it down, picking it up, you're not scuffing up the bag, and also there's that extra layer of protection for everything that's inside. So that's really nice, really thoughtful. The way that the straps actually join on, again, is really tough. We've got a bigger area just here, and that's coming off on a diagonal, so you're not going to tear that or anything else. It's actually really neatly done, and it fits with the design of the bag. It's not going to clash. And then the final thing, which I haven't actually really used, but is going to be important for some people, if you are going out on a lot of shoots and you take a tripod with you, there is, of course, this option for a little tripod mount down here. So you just pop all of the gubbins out. It's all so neatly hidden, I barely even knew that it was there. But once you've got all of those out, then you will recognize your little pouch to stick the tripod in. Now, personally, I am not using that feature at all, but it is so neatly hidden away that you just don't even notice. It's just behind this main panel just here. Everything just neatly folds up into it. If you need it, it's there, very fast to access. But if you don't need it, it just tucks up out the way and you'll never even notice that it is actually there. So that is my impression of this bag. Clearly, I am biased and I work closely with the company, but that also means that I, to some extent, have the choice of which bag I'm going to use, and this is the one that I've settled on. It suits my needs really well. I know that other members of the Still Moving team actually use different bags, so they'll be on, say, the Bumblebee line. Manfrotto Bumblebee is what Ben chooses because it suits the kind of shoots that he's doing. Spencer will opt for a bigger bag to accommodate like 7200s, that kind of thing. So finding the right bag for you is really important. It's a little bit of a vanity point, but I do like the look of it. That is important. And because I'm going to client meetings, I need it to feel a certain way. And these could be big agencies, these could be really boutique fashion brands. There's all kinds of different scenarios, different places that I'm going to be going wearing this bag. So I need it to be appropriate if I'm wearing a suit. I need it to be appropriate if I'm in slightly more casual dress, and I feel like this treads the line very nicely. The fact that I can store my laptop in it, the fact that it's got that little roll up where I can keep little cables, I can keep all of the SSD hard drives that I need for any of my on-the-go editing, and then I've got the option of having some smaller camera bodies in here, some lenses. I can also have like light meters and things to hand, and there are lots of little pockets for anything additional that I might need, like pens, notebooks, that kind of thing. It's a really well thought out bag, and I have to say it's probably my favorite Manfrotto bag to date. So that is my opinion on it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. I've actually been using this as my go-to bag for the past 4 or 5 months. Previously, I was using a rolling bag because I tend not to like having things on my shoulders and I need to carry the big laptop. So that was what I was going for, but this has actually changed my opinion. And because the styling's so good and because it accommodates everything that I need, I think this is a really solid choice if you're looking for something which treads the line between being full-on photography and video and something which is a little bit more smart casual, then this might be the bag for you.